Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Charlie Batch predicts who replaces Big Ben for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's always interesting to hear feedback from previous players about what may happen to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2022. Charlie is no exception. While he commented on several issues in the interview, he did have a lot to say on the future of the upcoming quarterback situation. Plus, Charlie predicted who he feels the Steelers quarterback may be in the 2022 season. When asked if Big Ben would retire, he unequivocally said he would. He made this prediction based on his conversations with Big Ben and other things he had observed. One of those observations was the fact when the Steelers played in Kansas City, his family attended the away game. It was the first time Ben's family traveled with him to an away game. His perspective was that this had the makings of a farewell tour indication. Big Ben will retire after the 2021 season. Before getting to who he thought would replace Ben as the Steelers signal caller, he made one important observation. First, he pointed at the fact Mike Tomlin was on record of not wanting to go with the rookie when Ben retires. If this is true, Tomlin does not want to replace Roethlisberger with the rookie. It's open to questions of whether the Steelers will bother drafting a quarterback and will rather look to free agency to address that need possibly. Also, he noted that because the Steelers failed to make preparations for his eventual retirement, they have failed at properly securing a smooth transition to Ben's eventual replacement. He seemed to be a bit critical of the Steelers about that. They knew Ben's retirement was coming and did little to plan for it. Thus, the Steelers were creating a situation in which they must decide who eventually replaces Roethlisberger, a free agent, trade, going internal, or use a draft pick. Batch then went on the record to state that if anyone takes the reins of the Steelers in 2022, it will be Mason Rudolph. He had a solid rationale. At any rate, he said that the Steelers decided to offer Rudolph a contract extension when they didn't need to. He feels they would have never extended his contract if they did not want Rudolph to take the reins in 2022. However, he did temper this view by saying that even if they decide on Rudolph, they will bring in an additional quarterback to compete for the starting job before making a final decision. There is a lot of time between now and the start of the 2022 season. Anything could happen. Will Rudolph be given the nod in 2022? That is still an open-ended question which the draft will ultimately answer. If they draft the quarterback, they may go with the rookie. If they do not draft anyone, they may more likely strongly consider Rudolph depending on how any competition they bring into training camp performs. So, the Steelers and everything. Charlie Batch was a decent quarterback, solid quarterback, especially as a backup who could come in and fill the position. Now, my thing is this. This is what I've been saying for the past 6 years. The Steelers should have gotten a young quarterback and groomed him. They should have got rid of Ben a long time ago. They were wasting time going with Ben, thinking, man, Ben might can help us get here. No, Ben is old. Ben is old, and he's not all that. He's not all that. Big Ben is a guy who, in big games, outside of Tom Brady, he had the most comebacks. But because of his transgressions off the field, and his alleged sexual assaults on women, which it was like 3, I don't know how, but this is all allegedly. I just don't know how that gets glossed over. But hey, if it was Kobe Bryant, hey, we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant's sexual assault case when he was not found guilty and he settled out of court. Oh, he's guilty for settling. No, No, idiot. He's not guilty for settling. He wanted to get rid of the case because he didn't have a case, and he was in the most racist, probably one of the most racist states ever. But I sidetracked. Now, this is my thing. Who should the Steelers get as a quarterback? Should they go with Mason Rudolph? Hell no. Mason Rudolph sucks. He doesn't have a great pocket awareness. He's not good at throwing the deep ball or making certain throws. Seriously, he's not that good. He's a sitting duck back there. They need to, if they want to get somebody, in my opinion, I know they're not going to do it, I would trade for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson would be ready to go, and you have the team. You have the running back. You have the defense. Go get him. But because of that assault, because of that alleged sexual misconduct I believe he was doing, and it's really civil suits. They've rolled some to the criminal courts, but the criminal courts have denied those claims. Like nobody really knows what's going on, because to me it's just fake. They're just trying. All of this allegedly, by the way. I just feel they're doing this on purpose to hurt him because he wanted to leave the Texans, and they did everything in their power to bring him back. Now, what I'm hearing is the Texans might get Flores, which I think is a lie. I think the Texans are going to get whoever the hell they want, and they're going to ship Deshaun out of there fast. Now, Deshaun Watson should come to the Steelers. He should be the next candidate. Now, if you don't get Deshaun Watson, you need to get a quarterback who actually can command the offense, and that's a leader. Big Ben never really he wasn't a leader to me. Big Ben was just one of the guys, or he could play. There's been past players who have talked about his ineptitude to lead and him being an a-hole in a lot of sense. So, well, like I said, I think Deshaun Watson. Let me know in the comment section who you guys feel he ought to, he ought to, who the Steelers should get. And I think they really put Mike Tomlin in a bad predicament. They should have let him get a quarterback 5 years ago, and the Steelers would have been back rolling. I believe they're going to get back rolling once they get a legitimate quarterback. I think they're going to be dangerous. So, and I also look at Lamar Jackson. I know people don't want to hear that. Oh, he can throw. He just needs the right pieces around him. I will look into Lamar Jackson because I don't know if the Ravens are going to sign him back. But hey, who knows? If you don't want him, at least get somebody, whether white, black, or whatever. Are they solid for the job? If they're not solid for the job, don't get them, because it will set you back 5 years, and then everybody's going to talk about fire Tomlin, when he doesn't have any control over personnel. It's the most craziest thing I've ever heard or seen. Ever. So, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can go to my description box, hit the Cash App link. It'll take you to my Cash App. You could donate $1, you could donate $1 million. Whatever you're willing to give, we'll accept. And thank you guys for listening, and we're out. Live boy.